Hello YouTube fam. Today we're playing a deck called Tawnos Beasts in Brothers War Standard. This deck created by Jaw, so thanks again Jaw for the submission. And this deck is built around Tawnos the Toymaker, which is a 5-mana 3/5 legendary creature human artificer from the Brothers War that says whenever you cast a beast or bird creature spell, you may copy it, except it copies an artifact in addition to its other types. Well, I don't know about birds, but this deck has beasts. We have Cultivator Colossus, huge beast. Ulvenwald Oddity, huge beast. Obstinate Baloth, huge beast, and also just surprisingly really good against Liliana. And the rest of the deck is built around ramping with Joint Exploration, Azusa's Many Journeys, or controlling our opponent with Urtai Scorn, Karn Silex, and Impulse. Mana base looks good. I like the 2 tap lands instead of the pain lands here because we don't have anything to do on turn 1. So we're definitely able to play a tap land if need be. But that's the plan of the deck. Pretty simple. Let's see how it goes on the ladder. Oh, okay. We're going first, and we have a turn 3 Silex. Sure, we'll try it. See what our opponent's about here. Blue. Okay, we'll pass. It's gonna pass. Yeah, we're gonna pass. I'm gonna get this Joint Exploration going. Does if our opponent casts something here. Don't want either of those, I don't believe. Would have been cool if we had a spell piece here or something to really get him. It's not really what our deck's about, though. Alright, now we just want to be able to slam these oddities. Opponent's got one creature or one spell in the graveyard. Oh, they do have black in their deck, so maybe it's not mono blue like we assumed. We'll cast a Silex. See if we can bait them here with this. Thirst for Discovery, okay. We're fine with that. They do have a basic to discard, so opponent's looking to be decent on lands here. Now we have their first spell on lock. Oh, they're going to get our Oddity. Okay, that's very unfortunate. They're a discard deck too. Discard mono blue? I'm not really sure. We can use this Otawara to return a Silex to our hand. We'll see. Looks like they're just going to pass. We do have an Impulse. I think we're going to play this with 2 mana up, so they're going to have to use a counterspell better than Make Disappear. Alright, they do have an Essence Scatter. Jin coming down, sure. Take another Silex, I suppose. And we have an Obstinate Baloth. Sure. See if our opponent has another Essence Scatter. They don't, so we're going to be able to gain some life and attack through this Haudijin. And of course, the Karn Silex can get through the Haudijin. Fading Hope, sure. Be able to gain some more life with this Baloth then. If our opponent plays another Jin to get us to pop this Silex, my guess is they're just gonna make us kill this Jin 1-for-1, but we'll see. Put the island down first. We can play the Scorn if need be. Gain some more life. Okay. I'm working with passing here. Want to force our opponent into doing something. Another Fading Hope? Yeah, that's fine with us. Really want to force our opponent to commit another Hottage in here. Yep, I think we're just going to cast his Bailoff again with the Urtide scoring up and the Karn Silex if need be. Just going to keep doing this. Keep gaining life. I'm getting 12 life from Obstinate Bailoff's triggers so far, which is pretty good. Opponent's going to want to commit something else to the board here. Infernal Grasp. I think we are going to counter that one. That way, our opponent, wow, they let that one go. Sure. It's fine with us. Another Fading Hope, sure. Opponent is getting lots of card disadvantage done to them. Alright, we are going to get this Hottage. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do this now, just in case they have the phase out spell. We can play another Karn Silex and try to get it next turn. Yep, they do have it. Alright, and we'll play this Silex, try to get it next turn. Obviously, our opponent could bin 3 creatures this turn, 3 cards this turn, but if that happens, we're dead anyway. Alright, let's see if they have exactly drawn another slip out the deck. Looks like they didn't. That's good. Get this Bailoff down. Opponent maybe just drew a land or something, because they didn't have any priority stick there. And that's all she wrote. Alrighty. He's getting in there. Alrighty. I think I'm going to make some changes to the deck, though, so I'll meet you in the deck screen. Okay, and we're back in the deck editor screen. I want to make a few changes to this deck. I think to make it feel more rampy, like more one whole game plan right now, it kind of feels like this Impulse, this Urtide Score, and this Karn Silex are kind of like in their own part of the deck and not in the rampy shell at all. And then everything else is part of the ramp package. So I am going to remove these cards. And in general, I felt like the deck was a little light on land, so I am going to add some lands. I'm going to add Beseju. Just a easy land to add. It you know, it's free with the if you have green mana in your mana base. There's one of your main colors. I think it's free. We're also going to add Otawara and Blast Zone. Having one of each of those is free. And I kind of want an Argoth in here too. So I think I'm going to add an Argoth, but I'm going to cut a forest for that one. Well, I'll be cutting probably an island, so we don't need as much blue. I think I'll be cutting some islands in general to make out 27 lands. Yep, that sounds right to me. And I wanted to add some more ramps, so I'm going to add Awaken the Woods, which is it's a card from Brothers War, which is X green green, create X 1/1 green forest dryad land creature tokens. So could be a big ramp spell, and also could just be a big finisher. And if you have a card like this, obviously you want a bunch of lands. That's why we added some lands. And then we're also going to add Topiary Stomper into this deck. It's an honorary beast. He's not quite a beast, but he's an honorary beast for sure. And then I will be adding 2 red and 7 as well, just to round out the deck, and it goes well with the ramp theme. If you have a bunch of lands in your deck, I think you could do pretty well by having red and 7 here. So I will admit this deck right now is currently constructed is pretty low on ways to interact with your opponent. I mean, you have the Otawara, and you can block. You have the Beseju as well in the Blast Zone, obviously. But really, that's about it. So I think one of the easy things you could do To mitigate that is maybe to change out this joint exploration into something else, but we'll cross that bridge if it feels like we really need to be interacting with our opponent. But we're going to take this version of the deck into the ladder and see how it goes, so I will meet you there. Okay, we're going first, and it's a slow hand, but we'll keep it. No ramp. Hopefully we can draw into some of that. Get this Orgoth down. What's on mono black, it looks like. I need to draw lands now to get to this Obstinate Baloth. It's on 2 swamps. Probably means mono black. Not a lot of other decks in the format are going to lead double swamp. Well, if they take our Obstinate Baloth, we're pretty happy about it, but I don't think they're going to do that. Oh my goodness, they've never seen Obstinate Baloth before. If you're not aware, Obstinate Baloth has text that says, if a spell or an ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Obstinate Baloth, go ahead and put that sucker onto the battlefield. And obviously they made us discard it with Extract the Truth. All it really did was attack our opponent once. It's not a fatal mistake for our opponent. Although our opponent is missing lands here, which is not looking good. We're going to slam a Tawnos next turn. And yeah, not a great game, but I think I'll probably keep it in because of the Obstinate Baloth play. Alrighty, on to the next one. Okay, our opponent's going first. And we're going to keep this hand here. We're going to get this Azusa's Many Journeys down on turn 2, which is pretty good. We're happy about that. And we can get it and a Topiary Stomper potentially down on turn 3 here. Negates our Azusa's Many Journeys. Okay, yeah. And a Silex, sure. Good thing Awaken the Woods makes lands. Want to get the Stomper down? I think we're just going to get this Stomper down. See what our opponent does here. See if they play a Planeswalker without expecting us to be able to attack with the Awaken the Woods. Exploration of their own. So they're playing Esper Green, 4-color. It's not really a domain deck. They're playing Dreamroot Cascade. They'd be playing all of the cycling lands if it were the other way. I think they're just straight up playing 4-color. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play this Awaken the Woods and get in with our Stomper. Pass the turn. Opponent can Silex, but it's not going to get rid of our 1/1 since they are indeed lands. And another Silex, okay. Well, that's fine by us. I think we'll play this Tawnos. Just as a 3/5 and make them pop this Silex if they don't want us to slam a beast and get the value. I doubt they're playing Farewell in their Silex deck. Just wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but they have to be playing some big top ender. There's got to be some reason they're playing green other than joint exploration, you would imagine. Another Awaken the Woods would be solid here, though. Opponent does have negate mana up, but I'm gonna just get busy with our features this turn. And I'm gonna play this Azusa's Many Journeys, but we're not gonna get any value off of it too much. See if they want to pop this Silex, though. We could also charge up this Blast Zone if we want. I think we're sitting in a decent spot. They 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are playing Farewell. Okay. Farewell and Karn Silex. It's an interesting combo. Kind of surprised about it, but yeah. It happens. Don't. Do we want the joint exploration? I don't think we do. I think we need to do better than Stomper too, honestly. Because we can't cast Stomper and Tawnos next turn. We'll put a charge counter on this. We can't play them both. I think we're just going to pass. And charge up this blast. And we got to find out what their main win condition is. Another deluge is fine. Yeah, I'm not sure what their main win condition is. So we got to charge this blast zone to whatever that is. They're on 4 different colors. It could be whatever. I mean, it could be Hullbreaker Horror. It could be Sanctuary Warden. It could be Titan of Industry. I mean, it could be whatever. Cultivator Colossus. I should have activated that at the end. We'll jam this. Make him have a counterspell here. And we'll pass. Do they have a removal spell for us? Not at 2 mana. They definitely can remove this if they wanted. 2 mana left over. See if they do. Kind of do want them to, and then we want to top deck a land so we can play Tawnos and Obstinate Baloth in this next turn. Opponent has to remove this Cultivator Colossus. So this means our opponent probably has a Wandering Emperor. If it's Wandering Emperor, I think we're just getting. So obviously they could have used the Silex there. They didn't, and that really indicates to me that they're going to play a Wandering Emperor here. So I think we're going to pass. Our opponent used no mana on their turn. And now it's suddenly gotten a lot better for our opponent to use a Silex. Let's see if they do. Next turn would still be short damage if they did have a Wandering Emperor and only a Wandering Emperor. Okay, yep, they're gonna up that. And we are gonna make this blast zone go to 3 and then eventually 4. In case they have a Wandering Emperor. Alright, let's draw a land here so we can play both of these. And that'll be hasty 8 damage. And they don't have Wandering Emperor up, so let's see if that's enough. Probably have to have a removal spell here, I would imagine. They're looking at our creatures like they have a removal spell. I mean, they would have conceded if they didn't have one, right? So, are they choosing what they want to use? Are they just surprised that we were able to pull the damage off? Nah. Oh. They were deciding what to exile. Okay. And now we imagine they'll have a sweeper of some sort. Playing Wandering Emperor now. Exile our 4/4 before we can transform it. I kind of like that play. It indicates to me they don't have another removal spell, though. Unless it's exactly another Wandering... Okay, Wandering Emperor. Alright, Right, we have another Tawnos, and then we're going to level this blast one up to 4. Pass the turn. We're going to want to draw another Uvenval oddity. What's your opponent has here? It's a good one. It is a good one. Ooh, they just straight drew a card.
There is much the past can teach us.
Okay. I didn't expect that. So, to me, that indicates they have a hard counter spell. We'll see. Well, time to get a big Cultivator Colossus down. Hope that's good enough. Gonna need him to get yet another removal spell. Definitely going to attack our opponent here. Can't kill it to fairy either way. But if they don't block, I imagine they block. I mean, if they have a Wrath or anything here, they're going to want to block. Again, we're 1 mana short from getting this Blast Zone to where we want it to be. One Delusion here. 2 quick choices. Did they get a Farewell? And if they got a Farewell... Okay, so they didn't minus, so that means they probably have something if they didn't minus. Or they have so little they can't even get through a Cultivator Colossus trample situation. Okay, getting rid of our Blast Zone, that's fine. It eventually did draw the Field of Ruin. Gotta have something else here, though. It's gotta be a Wrath for our opponent to live. Imagine they have it. They've done a lot of digging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know the third path. Okay. That's a sign of weakness for and the depopulates. And the lands. Well, yeah, we're not getting there. That's tough. We're gonna need, I mean, I don't even know what we could have. We don't even really have a set of draws to get us there, but so we'll just concede at this point already. We needed to draw there, make sure they didn't have a Wrath. They were able to draw past it. Close game, though. That was a fun game. Nice interactive game for our opponent's deck there. Not really sure why they have green in their deck. Just for joint exploration, it looked like, but it's mostly a blue-white control deck. Splashing black for... I don't know if we saw any black cards, or if these are just... They're just in there for cycle lands, but mostly just a blue-white deck. Yeah. I guess they just wanted more planes or lay down arms. But they also did play a joint exploration. So, okay. Mostly blue-white. Mostly planes for lay down arms and then joint exploration shenanigans going on. I kind of vibe with it. That's a cool deck from our opponent. Alrighty. GG's. On to the next one. Okay, our opponent's going first and this has ramp and spells. So we'll keep. Gonna want to draw some beasts though. When it's on mono red. Okay, now we're going to want to draw Obstinate Baloth specifically. Next turn we can Zeus as many journeys. If we drew Obstinate Baloth this next turn, or the turn after, that'd be pretty good. We'd be happy about that. Also, a blue land at some point obviously would be good here. See if our opponent has a 2-mana haster on turn 2. They don't, but it is a 3-power creature. Stomper's not bad for the next turn. Can get us our coveted blue mana. If we draw a blue card, blue mana, we can have 4. Yeah, we can't flip off those next turn even. Okay. Opponent is really putting it on us right now with a pretty good curve. We're going to gain 3. All right, we did draw the island, which is good. I think we just need the creature down. This needs 7 or more lands. Currently we have 5. Next turn we're going to have 6. This could block next turn. I'd actually be feeling decent about where we're at, but okay. Well, we can block that with the Ren and 7. That's fine actually. Okay, Zeus has many journeys is gonna flip. So let's see. Next turn, we can block 2 things. So likely we're going to block 2 3-power things and take 3 at least, and just any burn spell kills us. Not in a great spot for sure. Probably doesn't matter what we do. But we'll do it like this. It probably doesn't matter what we do here. The fact that our Stomper can't block is very unfortunate, but Ren and 7's good. If we were on the play this game, I think we would have been in a good spot. Being on the draw, not thinking so. Okay, that's a 1 point of damage to our face. Them playing that pre-combat probably means we aren't dead. Oh, we are exactly dead. I didn't contemplate them putting it on the Phoenix chick. But yeah, we have 2 blockers here. Obviously, they're going to have 2 unblocked, 2 power creatures, and that's GG's. Alrighty, on to the next one. Okay, we're going first, and this isn't a bad hand. Probably going to want to draw many lands here, but such is the life with this deck. Yeah, gonna want to just draw lands for the rest of the game, hopefully. Gonna want to get to this Ren and 7, essentially. Blue-white something. Land here is good, though. I'm going to pass here and charge this Blast Zone, since having another Azusa with no additional play lands is not going to help. Celestis, sure. Really quite unfortunate that we didn't hit the land for the Ren and 7. With so many lands in this deck. Opponent gets rid of a Wandering Emperor. Are they gonna lay down arms? They are indeed, that's fine. Get his blasting up to 3. That's something we can cast at least, see if they have a counter for it. That they do. Dreamroot Cascade's probably our best draw this next turn. There's a good one. Now maybe our best draw this turn is another Open Oddity. That was not our best draw this turn. Actually, probably our worst draw that turn. It was a tap land. But let's pass. Getting this Azusa's Mini Jersey down to eventually be able to do something. Opponents drawing cards. Hitting their land drops and doing everything we wish we were doing right now. Gonna slam this Ren in 6. Gotta imagine they have a counter spell of some sort. Alrighty, and that's gonna be GG's for us on this one. Alrighty, on to the next one. All right, we're going first, but this sand doesn't have any ramp, but finally has lands. We have not had any hardly hands with enough lands. Let's see if this is good enough. Mono red. Phoenix Chick, sure. Let's get in a Zeus's Many Journeys next turn. It's our best draw on the deck. It's not a terrible draw. They Wake in the Woods, actually. Come on, okay. If our opponent didn't draw that this turn, they should have played those backwards. Than the way they did. Oh, okay. We'll take that. We'll take that. A solid draw. Ramps this one. Next turn we can play this Tawnos. We're getting somewhere. Gonna gain the 3 life. Gonna flip the Azusa eventually. Opponent's probably gonna have a Reckless Stormseeker on turn 3. Mono Red's pretty good at that. Could be a Mechanized Warfare too. Yep, there we go. Alrighty, Tawnos coming down. Next turn we'll have this Zeus's Many Journeys to block. Question is, do we want to block this Etchings this turn? They played that instead of channeling it. Probably means they don't have a 4th land, or they have a 2nd Sokuzin, or they're just playing lands and not thinking too much about it. Nether Warfare, okay. Well, at this point, I think we have to block this Etchings. Almost certainly gonna have a way to kill this. Okay. Not gonna have a way to kill the Tawnos, apparently. And now I think we're gonna want this Wake in the Woods for 4. Just to make sure we can cast this Cultivator Colossus next turn. And copy it with the Tawnos. Filer, yep. Good thing Cultivator Colossus is pretty big, especially with these Forest Drads coming down. Dang, we can't do both. Dang. How bad do we need to gain life? I actually do think we're going to cast the Obstinate Baloth just in case we really need the life gain. And then we're going to pass with this Joint Exploration up. So we're at 20 here, which is a pretty good spot to be. With 3 cards in hand, there were definitely, I think, ways we could have died there. If from 12 life. The Defiler up for our opponent. This is a, yeah, this deals 3 right now to any target. So our opponent didn't need that many. Yeah, our opponent definitely didn't need that many spells to kill us. Defiler is really good here. And they played the Kessig Flame Breather and the Fable out of order. Okay. Opponent's learning to pilot mono red over there. People like to just say it's a dumb easy deck. It's actually kind of a hard deck. So don't hate on mono red. To do everything perfectly is kind of hard. All right, let's kick this again. Stomper. Neither of those are beasts, so I think we're just going to try to maximize and get beasts. And we don't have enough left over for the Stomper, but that's all right. We're just going to cast 2 9/9s. Just really make some big old creatures there. We just leave the 2 9/9s back. Yeah, I think we'll just tack with a 4/4. We'll trade it for one of these because we'd be doing that on defense anyway, essentially. That's, yep, we're fine with that. Still definitely could die here in many different ways. Another Obstinate Baloth off the top probably ensures that we don't die, but At the minimum here, we're taking 3. Oh my lord. We might die. We actually might die. Depends on what they have here. If it's a good one, like if it's play with fire. We're dead. Pretty much. Phoenix chick. Ooh. Down to 1. Can't give anything haste, but we can give these Cultivator Colossus. Can't get them. We can't get them really big. So wait, this would be 3. This would be 1, and this would be 5, 8. This would make these 17 17s. That should be lethal, I believe. Oh, it's 2. All right, this for 7. It'd be 6, make them 16 16s. That's probably still lethal. Wow, they put us down to 1. The Defiler of Instinct plus Mechanized Warfare combo. Very good. If our opponent had swapped the order in which they had played the Fable of the Mirror Breaker and the Kessig Flame Breather, we would have died that turn. Whew, GG's. Okay, our opponent goes first, but we're going to be stomping here. Opponent's on some sort of mono white, potentially. Could be blue-white control, green-white enchantments. Okay. Well, this one could be tough. Definitely could be tough. Restoration of a Ganja. Okay. I think I am just going to cycle this joint exploration. Tawnos is good enough, I think. Yeah, so next turn I think we're gonna play. We could play this Uvenwald Oddity, or we could play this Tawnos. Not sure yet. If we play the Tawnos, they're almost certainly going to. Yikes. Yeah, I think we just have to go for our highest upside plays here, which is Tawnos this turn. Next, we have to hope they don't have something that can exile our Tawnos. Next turn, play the Uvenwald Oddity plus Joint Exploration into an untapped land, into Cultivator Colossus, and I think that's really our only path. Take 1 force for sure. These also have trample. We're threatening to. What's a 4/5? Because this gets +1/+1. Yikes! I'm playing poorly. Okay. Yikes. Oh. My bad there. Catilda. Cultivator Colossus doesn't have reach somehow, so it's not looking good. Yeah, we're dead. GG's. On to the next one. Okay, we're going first. This hand looks decent, so we'll keep. Start with a little forest action. Delver Secrets, sure. Get this Otawara down, just in case we do want to cast this Joint Exploration. See if our opponent blind hits. We would be pretty upset if they blind hit. Yep, they're all about it. Opponent considers, okay. Maybe thinking about countering this spell, not really sure. Baloth's fine, I think. Just to gain some life. Stomp for next turn. Can't counter this with 1 mana. Alrighty. Probably hoping to get an oddity down next turn. If we draw Tawnos, we'd probably slam that. Insectile Aberration is putting a damper in our day, though. Gonna cast this Baloth. Imagine they have some sort of counterspell for it. Not gonna cast it, though. To me, this means that they're gonna have a Tolarian Terror ready next turn, which is not good for us. It's somehow is going to outclass our beasts. Hotijin. Okay, that's not as bad. It's Tolarian Terror. Tawnos going. Probably have a Fading Hope here. They'll want to bounce the Tawnos if they can. Impulse, sure. Next turn, we're going to be able to copy a Baloth or an Oddity, which can be nice if they don't bounce our Tawnos. They do bounce a Tawnos, okay. And then a Thirst. Well, what's going off with this Hotijin? Doing hashtag just mono blue things. Tolarian Terror, and that's GG's. Can't block the damage in the air. Alrighty. Let's see. This hand can ramp our way. Going first is certainly going to help. Going to want our opponent not to be on something super aggressive. Going to see what they have, though. Yep, we'll just pass the turn here. Opponent's on Mirror potentially. Exists. Okay. Joint Exploration here. Definitely will be able to ramp, which is nice. So our opponent counters our Joint Exploration. Keep Fable, okay. Sure. Don't want either of those. Give him Oddity. It's not bad. So we'll create 3 Dryads here. Makes our Cultivator Colossus next turn pretty good. We get it down. If our opponent has a Liliana or something in the uptick, this Obstinate Baloth's going to get some value. Curious if our opponent has a Wrath. My guess is they don't in Grixis. Probably going to have Invoke Despairs and the like, though. No blocks here. So we have exactly 8 mana. We can bail off plus Oddity, which I think we're going to do. Let's get our creatures down. Hope they don't have a Wrath. Wrath would be not looking good for us. We're going to make our opponent act in some way on our creatures here. If not, we're going to flip this Unwald Oddity. Nether Fable, okay. Opponent's low on mana, though. And alrighty. Just regular old beasts getting it done there. GG's. Alright, let's move to the wrap-up. Alrighty, we're here in the wrap-up with Tawnos Beasts, which is a blue-green ramp deck with the top end of Tawnos the Toymaker, Cultivator Colossus, Unwald Oddity, and Obstinate Baloth. Instead of your more traditional top end of things like Titan of Industry, Portal to Phyrexia, Cultivator Colossus. And yeah, we did make the changes midway through the games, which you saw. Reflecting on those changes, we were really hurt by the fact that this deck can't interact with our opponents. So I think to fix that, you need to do two things. The first thing is your top end has to interact with your opponent. Things like Titan of Industry or Portal to Phyrexia or Cityscape Leveler. Or you need to play like Karn Silex, which we had in the original list. But really, Karn Silex is pretty slow too. If you're on the draw, I think you're just losing to mono red if that's what you're relying on. The other route you could go is to play ramp creatures that can do a little bit of blocking, like Shigeki, like Llanowar Loam Speaker. Go a little lower to the ground. That way, instead of playing Zeus's Many Journeys and Joint Exploration, I think in this deck, Joint Exploration might not be fast enough, and in general, the deck isn't fast enough. There might be a build of Tawnos that works, but I'm not sure this is. But I'm not sure about that. This certainly isn't that build. We lost a bunch of games in recording this. Honestly, I have a bunch of footage of getting just trashed with this deck, so I'm going to cut some of it out for sure, just so it doesn't look as as heartbreaking as it felt. But I'm kidding. But overall, I think if the question is Tawnos the Toymaker viable in Brothers War Standard, I think I'm going to answer no. I don't think it's powerful enough. You're in the spot where you're going to get run over by early game decks, and honestly, you're in a spot where your late game isn't even that much more powerful than what other people can be doing. Just the fact that you have to have the Tawnos live, and then if you do the biggest thing you can do is play Tawnos into Cultivator Colossus, that's something that's, you get two huge creatures, but a Wrath just sends you overboard. It doesn't draw any cards, doesn't kill your opponent's permanents, doesn't do any of that. So from that perspective, I just don't think you're in a position to go over the top of everybody, which I think if you're playing a ramp deck, your goal is to survive early and then just be sure you can go over everybody late. The problem here is we're not really surviving early and we're not really going over anybody late. But that's sort of what's to be expected with Tawnos. It's hard to brew around this. So exemplary job. I think you did a great job. You certainly found the 3 best beasts in Standard with Tawnos. The problem is that I think there's just not enough good beasts. But thank you for submitting the deck anyway. I love trying new brews, and this was a lot of fun. I love sitting down, trying changing the deck, try to do anything I can to make Tawnos better. I couldn't do that. Maybe someone else can. Maybe someone's going to drop a comment here and say, hey, you should have played X, Y, and Z, and that would have made your deck a lot better, and I'll revisit this deck in the future. So if you have any ideas that you thought maybe this for sure would have made Tawnos more viable, I'm definitely all ears. You could turn this into a Sultai deck and play Terra Sunder instead of the Joint Exploration. I thought about changing that midway through, but ultimately decided not to. But yeah, thank you for Jaw for submitting this deck. If you would want me to play your deck on the channel, submit it in the Google Forms. sheet in the YouTube description. Until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.